Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're gonna first cover Ethereum because I see some interesting trades that could be made with Ethereum, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin and some of these other cryptocurrencies. But I think some of my TikTok streamers were able to see me just enter in a couple of trades just now. So we'll see how it plays out. But right now, I'm looking at the 15-minute chart for Ethereum. Ethereum's currently trading at 1774 right now. And we basically pulled back. We lost the gains that we had this afternoon, okay? But what I like about Ethereum, just looking at this 15-minute chart, okay, is that we've been creating some higher lows here all throughout the day here. Ethereum did get knocked down. We were trading at higher prices earlier this morning. We saw Ethereum at like $1,800 for the most part. Then we lost. We started coming down around like 6 a.m. All right. Then we got like trading sideways, and trading sideways. I was already entering Ethereum this afternoon, and just putting my stop loss below the candle wicks here at like probably like around like 1749 here. Is where I've been placing my stop loss on Ethereum. And I just feel like you have a low risk, high reward situation for Ethereum, because as we start to zoom out here, okay, let's go into the 4-hour chart now with Ethereum. We start to zoom out, and yeah, you know, Ethereum has made a big run up from where it was back in early April, where we saw Ethereum trading at like $1,600. We made that big impulse move here on the towards the end of April. Got above the 200 moving average here on the 4-hour chart, and just been trading sideways ever since April 23rd here. Okay, But that has given Ethereum's oscillators, the RSI here, a chance to cool down. We were overbought, overheated around April 23rd. But like now, the RSI is at 38. The stochastic RSI is also pretty low. Okay, we're seeing Ethereum getting some support on the 50 moving average. And I mean, if you guys are part of my Discord, I would be telling you guys here, now's a good time to be buying Ethereum. But also, I think there's a lot of other altcoins out there that look pretty interesting going forward here. I did hear there was a bit of good news earlier today that the Federal Reserve is actually buying treasury bonds again. So we have like QE all over again. They bought $20 billion worth of treasury bonds earlier today. They made that announcement at like 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's just going to add more liquidity into the markets here, okay? That's why we saw crypto prices go up a little bit earlier this afternoon, but for some reason we're coming back down. I'm not sure why that might be the case. There might be some earnings reports coming out in the stock market that might be affecting the way things are trading right now. But yeah, I think Ethereum looks very compelling right now to me. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as well after this, but just finishing up on Ethereum, zooming out to the daily chart here. Ethereum has a lot more room to go to make you guys some money here. I think we'll probably get some resistance at the $2,100 level, where the 50-day moving average might give us some resistance, this green line right here. But if we get past that green line and go up to higher prices, then we might get some more resistance at $2,700, where the 200-day moving average is currently sitting at for Ethereum. And I just think Ethereum has a lot more room to the upside than going to the downside. I think we might have bottomed out here on Ethereum, okay? I'm waiting for Ethereum to get above this area, this last significant high at like basically $2,100. If we get back to $2,100 on Ethereum, I would say the downtrend is pretty much over, and now we're making higher highs, and then we're just looking for higher highs and higher lows as Ethereum climbs up to higher prices. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll take a look at some of these other cryptocurrencies, and then I guess I'll take a look at some of your requests here, if you guys have any requests from me. But yeah, let me get rid of some of this previous chart work here. Probably should have just done a new chart, but whatever. We have Bitcoin currently trading at $94,719 right now. And Bitcoin is just chilling, just trading sideways. We've been trading sideways for the most part ever since April 23rd here. We did see, Bitcoin get up to like almost $98,000 on Friday, but we came back down. We saw lows for today at $93,300 Bitcoin, and even yesterday we saw $93,000 Bitcoin as well. But as far as like where could Bitcoin go next, I'm loving the fact that the stochastic RSI on the daily time frame is considerably low for Bitcoin. Let me look at the RSI, the regular RSI. The regular RSI it's a little bit I wouldn't say it's too high. It's not overbought, but it's in the 60s, so it's ready to be bullish. Okay, if that's a good way of me explaining it to you. And then of course we did see the buying pressure die down here on the MACD. We might be getting some more red candles here. Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. We could start getting green candles all over again, especially if we get good news tomorrow from the Federal Reserve. Guys, I want you to let me know, what do you think the Federal Reserve is going to do with interest rates? Are they actually going to lower interest rates, or are they going to keep them the same? But I'll tell you what, I do like the fact that the Federal Reserve started buying treasury bonds. They did that today. I had a feeling that they would do that first before they lower interest rates, and it seems like they decided to do that today. But just looking at the Bitcoin chart here, we do have, Bitcoin above the 200-day moving average. Basically, Bitcoin's above all the moving averages right now. And this white 21 EMA line here could cause some pressure for us to go up to higher prices, possibly. Okay, as I extend that white line a little bit more. If we continue going sideways, I'm expecting like around Saturday or even Friday for us to get a push up to higher prices. Okay, I'm saying I'm expecting it. Doesn't mean it's actually going to happen, but that 21 EMA should basically deflect us to go up to higher prices here, as is what I'm foreseeing in the future here. But I don't know. I think Bitcoin is poised and ready to make another impulse move up to higher prices here. With the stochastic RSI being already low as it is, okay. The MACD is also pretty low, and the RSI is it's high. It's relatively high, but it can always go higher from here, okay. And then then we gotta start talking about, is Bitcoin going to go to $100,000? Okay, that's probably going to be the next trip for Bitcoin. That's a nice psychological number. But I actually foresee Bitcoin getting up to $102,000 before we get any significant resistance here. Okay, mainly because you have some candlewick closes at $102,000. Okay. Also, if I turn on, as I zoom out here, if I turn on the VRVP, let me go ahead and do that for you guys. All right. Okay, now you got the VRP, the green and red bars to the right. The VRVP is showing that this white line, the value area high, is sitting at about $104,000, $105,000 Bitcoin. Okay, but also you have another high volume level at $102,000. So I'm expecting $102,000, $104,000 Bitcoin when Bitcoin decides to make another run up to higher prices here. Okay. Right now, currently, this POC, this blue line at $96,000 is acting as resistance for us. But once we get past $96,000, I'm expecting that to act as support as we springboard and head up to higher prices on Bitcoin. Okay, I got a request here for LTC, Litecoin. I actually was looking at Litecoin earlier today, and I actually put a small trade in on Litecoin. So I'll put that down as one of the requests here. Thank you for that request. Yeah, a few things are going up. But yeah, we'll take a look at Litecoin. Let me see if I got any more requests here besides Litecoin. Let's see. Okay, I guess you're a big fan of Litecoin. I see you've been talking about it in the live stream chat here. J Dool saying that crypto is showing signs of correlation to the S&P 500 and likely to plummet. That's interesting. I would like to know why you think it's going to plummet. All right. And then what else? Let's see. Why would I buy Bitcoin when one guy has 90% like buying meme coin one day? All right. I don't know what that's all about. And he said Ethereum will be king. All right. I think that's it for... yeah, all I have is like Litecoin for requests. We'll take a look at some of the other high market crypto coins. But because you mentioned Litecoin, and I'm actually in a trade on Litecoin, I'll go ahead and actually look that up for you. Let's see. We also have another request here for Sonic. Thank you for the request. We'll take a look at Sonic. And then let's see. Do I think market will dump more? It could, but do I think it will? I think the Federal Reserve is very important this week going into tomorrow, and I just think that the Federal Reserve is going to actually try to accommodate and be supportive to the markets. And all they have to do is just talk nice. They don't have to actually do anything. They could just say, we're thinking about cutting interest rates, but we haven't seen the signs that would tell us that we need to do it right now. Okay? If they just smooth things over with the market, I believe that they don't have to cut interest rates, but they can do what they're doing right now, which is buying treasury bonds. That's basically like stealth QE. And I think the market will get the hint that because they're doing stealth QE, we can actually send more money into the markets. Because if they're buying treasury bonds, that's going to cause the price of bonds to go up, which is going to create less volatility in the markets, which is going to allow people to feel more comfortable taking risk on stocks. and taking more risk on crypto as well. So I think we will actually go up as long as they don't say anything dumb and stupid tomorrow. But yeah, let's look at Litecoin for you. Okay. Let's see, Litecoin USD. Litecoin is actually in the green when the rest of these coins are in the red for today. Very interesting. That's showing some strength. That's pretty solid. That's good to see. Just looking at Litecoin, Litecoin at $84, it has been beaten down. It has seen better prices, higher prices, just like a lot of these other altcoins out here. I'm loving the fact that Litecoin is actually below the VRVP, the value area low. Okay, sitting at like $97. So that just lets me know like this thing is beaten down significantly. Is more likely to go back up to the value area low just to retest it than anything else. So we could see a $97 Litecoin in the future here. We also have the 200-day moving average at 98 bucks. So I'm expecting that when Litecoin does start going up, it's probably going to get some resistance at the $98, $97 level. We also got another high volume node here at 102 bucks, okay, which is where the 100-day moving average is sitting at as well. So I'm expecting that 100-day to act as resistance for Litecoin. But I see more upside than downside for Litecoin, because once we get past $102, you got a gap in the VRVP, and then you get the POC, the blue line, at 126 bucks. That's probably where Litecoin is going to probably settle up at. You should put your long-term take profit targets at that level, okay? And then you get the value area high at about 135 bucks, so you might be able to squeeze a little bit more juice out of Litecoin just using this VRVP, and you might be able to sell at $136 sometime later on in 2025 is when I would expect that to happen. But yeah, going back to looking at Litecoin, right? We're currently chilling out the 21 EMA. What could possibly be the bearish case for Litecoin? Well, if we lose that 21 EMA, which is acting as support right now, but if we lose that support, then you might come down. You got a gap in the VRVP, and then you got the next high volume node at like 76 bucks. So you could see $76 all over again for Litecoin. If Litecoin's not able to hold that, then you could come down to the $70 level here, which might give you a little bit more support as well in that area. Let's see. Looking at the RSI for Litecoin, you're chilling at like 51. That's like neutral territory. So that's good to see that it could possibly start running on us and it wouldn't be overbought. Buying pressure on the MACD is coming down, and you might get actually a little bit of selling pressure if this continues, this trend here. Okay. And then also, we do have Market Cipher B saying that Sunday was a good day to sell your Litecoin. Okay. And of course, yeah, Monday was, Litecoin was down about 2%, but like today, Litecoin's up 1.45%. So we might actually get a green buy dot all over again if this thing starts climbing up to higher prices here. And just because the MACD is coming down, that doesn't mean that it's going to keep going down. It could go right back to doing green candles again on the MACD, especially if we get some bullish momentum in the markets. Basically, tomorrow, I think everybody's just waiting to see what the Federal Reserve is going to do and say. And then I'm expecting a continuation in the trend here. And I just think that Litecoin just making a higher low at this point. And then we're looking to see if Litecoin can make a higher high and get up to like this last high that it made on Wednesday, March 26th, when it was at as high as like 96 bucks. Once you see Litecoin at like $97, you know that you're in an uptrend now, creating higher highs, and then you're just looking for a higher low to buy back in again, and then riding this puppy back up to higher prices. All right, we'll take a look at the Sonic now. Let's look at the Sonic USD. On Kraken? Sure, why not? All right, so I got a lot of indicators here. Let me just get rid of some of this stuff so it's not cluttering up the charts here. But we're looking at the Sonic currently trading at 25, almost 26 cents here. And looks like Sonic is also trying to get some support and trying to maintain that 21 EMA as support. So I think now is actually a good time to be buying some of these altcoins as they, for some reason, they're getting knocked down. I think I'm not. I went live at the same time that the stock market closed, and some of these companies are reporting their earnings. I think there might be some companies right now that are reporting bad earnings or maybe bad guidance, and that's dragging down the markets right now for crypto. But I mean, you can take advantage of that because that doesn't really affect crypto unless it's like Nvidia or something. Then it kind of does, because Nvidia creates the mining rigs that a lot of these cryptocurrencies are using to mine. But anyways, yeah, going back to analysis here on Kraken. I'm sorry, not Kraken. Analysis here on Sonic. Looks like RSI at 49.50 territory, and you're also buying pressure is coming down. So this is looking just like Litecoin's chart, okay? And then you also had a sell dot here on Sunday, a red dot on the market cipher B, but you know that could also, you could also get a green dot soon as well. But I don't know. I think people are just a little bit careful and wary about what the Federal Reserve is going to say and do tomorrow before we can continue, you know, with our regular scheduled business here. Okay, but looks like I don't really have that much data here on Sonic. This looks like it started trading on February for on Kraken. Let me see if I can find another chart here. Another exchange that has Sonic. Maybe Bitfinex had it for a while. No, that's another Sonic. I don't think that's the one that you're requesting here. Let's try OKX. No, I mean this thing hasn't been around that long. Okay, we'll go back to Kraken again. All right, so I could try to pull the VVP and see what it says as far as like high volume node levels. Right now it's saying for Sonic, you got your POC and your value area low right next to each other at like 20 cents. So if Sonic does become bearish for whatever reason, it loses its momentum here and starts coming to the downside, then yeah, I mean 20 cents is probably a good area to start buying up Sonic again. Okay, it might come down and actually stop somewhere at like 23 cents. And then just make a higher low from there and not actually visit the 20-cent level. But 20 cents should be a strong support level for Sonic if it does come down. And then the value area high is sitting at 30 cents. That's an area where I think a lot of people are going to be selling their Sonic just to break even and get out of it. Could be a tough area to break through. But once you break past it, I mean, where could this thing possibly go? I would have to do a Fibonacci analysis to see where Sonic might go after that. Let's just do a Fib analysis real quick here. So we topped out here at like 34 cents. Okay, so we'll put that as high water mark, and then we started this move over here at like 15 cents, I believe. Okay. Yeah, let me see. I'll put it there. I'll put it near the candle wicks over here. Yeah, about 16 cents. I don't know. I'll bring it down to 15 cents. All right. Okay. So, yeah. So if Sonic gets past 34 cents, then we have a 161 fib extension that says this thing could get up to like 46 cents. And then we have a 2618 fib level that says this thing can get up to like 65 cents, and you basically would double your money with Sonic if it gets up to that level. So I think those are some levels to watch for if you're currently in Sonic or trying to get some more. What app or website do I use to trade on? I like using Coinbase and Kraken. Those are two cryptocurrency exchanges in America that I trust, that have been around for a while. They've been through a few crypto cycles. So I feel like they can, you know, I'm not gonna lose my money. But you know, you should try to take your crypto off the exchange if you can, because you just never know. You just never know if they could go belly up, or they could have an outage and prevent you from trading and investing, or they could go bankrupt. You know. And then what? Then you know, you have a hard time trying to get your money off the exchange. All right. Let's see. Let's see about, do I have any other requests here besides Sonic? Well, I'm glad I was able to give you that detailed technical analysis. I feel like that's what people come here for, because I go into the charts and in good detail, just trying to figure out where the price levels might be for you to buy or sell your asset. TQQ, is that a request? You saying TQQ puts are a lock? Oh boy. So you're trying to short sell the NASDAQ is basically what you're telling me? All right. Okay. Let's take a look at TQQ, because I'm actually in TQQ myself. I trade the stock market as well. And then somebody here said that if they keep interest rates the same and they don't cut, what will happen to the market? I think the market will be a little bit frustrated that they're not going to cut, but they're actually expecting the cut to come in June. So it wouldn't be too much of a surprise if they don't cut. Yes, Trade Intuition, appreciate it. Guys, smash that like button so we can get the likes to match the amount of people that are watching the stream right now. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you're doing well too, Trade Intuition. Let's see. You've been busy editing videos? Yeah, I was busy this afternoon trading. I was in a trade on gold, and then I got into Ethereum. And I actually put in a few more trades right before the live stream started. Actually, my TikTok streamers probably saw me. I put in some trades to go buy some Ethereum when I saw the price come down on Ethereum just now. But yeah, let's see. I have a request here for ICP. And then, what was the other one? Was there another one? Oh, TQQ, I think we were going to look at. Let's look at TQQ first. And then we'll take a look at ICP. TQQ. My friend here says he's putting he's opening up some puts on the on TQQ, and TQQ is like a 3x leverage ETF on the it's trading on the NASDAQ, where it's trying to track the performance of the NASDAQ, but with 3 times the results. And yeah, if you're putting out put, that means you're actually thinking this thing is going to come down. So let's see if you might be right. All right, so here we are. We're looking at TQQ trading at $56.74. TQQ has been beaten down. It's seen better days in February when this thing was trading almost as high as like $91 here. Okay. And those Trump tariffs took an effect just like it did with crypto. And it beat down this this ETF that tracks the NASDAQ, and we saw this thing get as low as $35 on April 7th here. And then Trump said that he's going to do a pause on the majority of the tariffs for like 90 days, and that sent the markets up higher. That also sent TQQ higher. So I just wanted to give people an idea as to like where this ETF has been. So that way we can figure out where it might go next, right? And so, you know, the bottom for now is this $35 level for TQQ, okay? TQQ is below the 200-day moving average, and if you guys have been following me and listening to my live streams, you already know that when something's below the 200-day moving average, I consider that to be bearish. Doesn't mean you can't make money during a bear market, but anytime you're below 200-day moving average, that's considered to me, in my rule book, that's considered a bear market. Okay, so we've been in a bear market on TQQ since February 28th here. Okay, where we lost the 200-day moving average, but we can always regain it. Okay, Now you're over here trying to short the TQQ. Let's see how that might play out for you. I'm gonna do a Fibonacci retracement. Okay. That should give me an idea. So like, let's see, we got as high as 60 bucks here. So 60 bucks down to where we came down to like 35 bucks on TQQ. All right. Where could TQQ come down to? All right. Let's see. Well, it could come down to this 21 EMA at 50 bucks. And I think that's where the 618 Fibonacci level's at. I'm trying to zoom in here. Yeah. I think if you're going to be shorting TQQ, okay, you should be targeting 50 bucks because you might get a reaction off that level. 50 bucks happens to be where the 21 EMA is also at. And it's the golden pocket 618 on the fib levels here. So 50 bucks seems like that would be, and that's about a 10% move from where you are right now. I think you should be taking profit on your short if you're shorting the TQQ asset here. You might get lucky and you might be able to push your luck and see if this thing comes down to 47 bucks, which is the 0.5 retracing level, or you might be able to push it even further down to 0.382 fib level at $44.82 here. Okay. Ultimately, if you're able to push it some more, you might get the 0.236 level at $41. And I think that's pretty much the same level as this low that we made here back on April 21st. So those are your levels that you're targeting, just using the Fibonacci if you're shorting TQQ, okay? But if this thing does become bullish, yeah, I think we could get up to the 200-day moving average. And let's see, the 200 moving average is at 71 bucks. And also you got the 1618 fib level saying at $74. Might be a good take profit level for the longs that are longing TQQ right now. All right, we'll move on to ICP. ICP, USD, I believe. Internet computer. Let me get a drink of water here. Doing a lot of talking here. Trade intuition is also saying some things here. What are you saying here? Market is too choppy for you to trade. You like swing trading things? Okay. You can scout, but very time consuming with updating your community. And you agree with me that the price under the 200 moving average is not healthy. Higher time frame shows stronger levels of health. Higher time frame shows what kind of health the asset's in. I agree with you on that. All right, going back to ICP now. Hey, you know, ICP below the 200-day moving average, that's a problem, right? That means you're kind of in the bear market, right? But is this thing bottoming out? Okay. Are you able to tell if this thing is bottoming out? Okay. Well, we gotta look at the RSI, and we gotta look at we gotta look at the RSI here. So obviously we know that this thing has been making lower highs as well as lower lows. Let me see. I'm gonna just adjust this trend line here. Okay. So I just want to show you here what I'm seeing. So obviously you have been making lower lows on the price, and it looks like you're starting to make higher lows on the RSI, right? But that doesn't I don't know. Let me see. Let me get the exact number here. That's a 29.95, and this is a 30.36. So, all right. Very hard to tell. You would have to zoom in. but you are actually making higher lows ever so slightly on the RSI for this asset. And with you making higher lows on the RSI and us having lower lows on the price, that's actually bullish divergence. That means that this thing is starting to bottom out. Okay. Now we're starting to bottom out. Are we actually bottoming out? Well, if this is the bottom here at like $4.18, and right now today we got as low as $4.44. You might see a double bottoms possibly either today or tomorrow. And if that's a double bottom, then that's you can trade that. You can be like, all right, I'm gonna buy here. I'm gonna put the stop loss right below at like maybe $4.12. Okay, and if we lose $4.12, then this thing's probably still in the downtrend. All right. The other thing I want to see for this asset, ICP, I want to see us start making higher highs at some point. Right now, the last high that you made was $5.48 on April 26th. So that's the, that's the mark that you need to make. You need to get above, what do we say, $5.48? You need to get above $5.48. I'll put a red line over there for you. You get above that red line, and you can say that this thing is making higher highs and it's in an uptrend rather than being in a downtrend, okay? Because if we can't get above 548 and we just make a lower high, then that means you're still in a downtrend on ICP. But if ICP continues going to higher prices and gets past 548, then I'm expecting this 50-day moving average to act as resistance temporarily. Right now it's at $5.99. That could be where we get rejected, and then we'll just see if we can make a higher low from there. And then, of course, if this thing continues being bullish and going to higher prices, then yeah, you want to see this thing get above the 200-day moving average at $8.16. And if it does that, you pretty much almost doubled your money with this asset if it can do that. But first order of business, get above $5.48. Prove to me that you can make a higher high. And then I know for sure that you've actually in an uptrend and you're possibly bottoming out here. Okay? All right. Let's see. What do I have for? Do I have any more requests here? Let's see. I haven't looked at my TikTok streamers. Okay. Appreciate the follows, guys. If you enjoying the content and you want to see more live streams like this, by all means hit that follow button. And for my YouTube streamers, go ahead and hit that subscribe, so you can come join the Meet Damon channel and community here. All right, let's see. I think we'll look at the Solana, and then we'll take a look at XRP after that. Let's see how Solana's doing. Solana's currently trading at $144.20 right now. On the daily time frame here, I just see Solana's just probably going to go sideways for now until we get some direction out of Bitcoin and out of the markets in general. It's getting squeezed in between the 21 and the 50-day, the green line right there. When those lines converge, a decision is going to need to be made probably sometime by the end of this week if Solana is going to continue being bullish or if it's going to continue, or if it's going to make a drop down in price here. This 21 EMA, this white line, is currently acting as support right now. Okay, it could always lose the 21 EMA and come down to lower prices, but that 21 EMA should act as support. Right now, the 21 EMA is at 144 bucks, and that's basically where we're at right now. Okay, but then once we get some direction as to whether we're going up or down, if we do go up, I'm expecting the 50-day moving average to not really be resistance because it's already acting as resistance. So if this thing gets past the 50-day moving average at 152 bucks, then we might see Solana hit the 100-day moving average, that blue line, at 172 bucks as the next resistance level for Solana. And then, then traders and investors all around the world, they're going to be eyeballing that 200-day moving average at 181 bucks. It's probably where you're going to get some more selling for Solana. And that could also be a resistance that we need to get past to see Solana go to higher prices. Let's see. I'll do a quick fib retracement here to see if where the low might be made for Solana if it does decide to go down to lower prices. Let's see. We came all the way down to I believe 95 bucks here on Solana. Okay. Let me just lock this so I don't mess it up. All right. So if Solana decides to come down and it actually can't hold that 21 EMA as support, then we might see Solana come to that 0.618 fib level at 134 bucks. That could be where Solana might get some support. Or we might even come down to this 0.5 retracement level at 126 bucks. And I think I said earlier that 125, 126 dollars seems to be a good support area for Solana, because if I turn on the VRVP, I think it also agrees. Yeah, the POC, the blue line, is at 126, 127 bucks. So yeah, if Solana does come down in price, I'm expecting buyers to start showing up again and going long at $126 Solana. All right, moving on to XRP. I'm surprised no one requested it, but you know what? Here I am. We're gonna do it. Hopefully I don't get someone asking me later on, hey, can you look at XRP? Because I feel like we look at it every day, and I like to save it towards the middle to end of the live stream. Because if I do it in the beginning, people are going to be like, hey, can you look at XRP? And I'm like, we already did. We already did, bro. All right. D Golfer's talking about Sharm Todd. Okay. Long COVID recovery. You're saying bro is just guessing. LMAO. Well, yeah, that's what we do here. We try to come up with some educated guess as to where the price might go next. No one has a crystal ball, but it is kind of crazy how these prices respect the moving averages and they respect the fib levels here, and that's possibly where you're gonna get a reaction on the price when you see these cryptocurrencies and these assets actually respecting, moving averages. Okay, so it's not just guessing, it's actually educated guesses here. But yeah, I mean, come on, I'm not a psychic. That's exactly what we're doing. We're doing guessing, but we're doing really good guesses as to where the price might go next. So if you don't want to try to guess with us, you could just leave the stream. It really wouldn't faze me one bit. All right. So those of you who want to stick around and try to figure out where prices might go next with my guessing, my technical analysis guessing, okay, let's take a look at XRP here. XRP currently trading at $2.12. 200-day moving average, this red line, has been acting as support, and we're kind of flirting with it. If we lose that 200-day moving average, then I start to become bearish on Ripple, and we would probably end up seeing Ripple come right back to the lows that it made here on the beginning of April at 160. Yeah, what did it came down? 161. I'm sorry, at $1.61. Excuse me. Okay, which is also where the 0.382 fib level is at, $1.63. Okay. So yeah, if we lose that 200-day moving average, you could see $1.60 again on XRP. All right, now as I zoom out here a little bit more, I'll go ahead and turn on the VRVP now. Okay, and you'll see that if XRP, if we lose that 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at $2.07, if we lose that, which we're kind of flirting around with it right now, you got a little bit of high volume at $1.94, okay? But if you lose $1.94, then yeah, you might be coming down to $1.50. is where I see some high volume at. That $1.60 level is kind of like an anomaly. According to the VRVP, it doesn't really see that much volume over there. Okay, but we do have a lot of volume at $1.50 for XRP. Okay, and the reason why it's picking up on that volume is because we have like a little bit of sideways trading going on here back in like the end of November here, where we were trading at $1.50 before we got another impulse move up in the first week of December. So yeah, I think $1.50 would be a good support area for Ripple if it does come down. But if Ripple actually decides to go up, then let's see. We'll probably end up having some resistance here at the 50-day and the 100-day moving average. That's sitting at about $2.40. Once we get past $2.40, the VRVP volume drops off, and then you get the value area high is saying that we could see Ripple come up to like $2.68. Okay. But the volume keeps dropping more on the VRVP, and you don't really have a high volume node until about $3. Okay, $3.13, $3.12 seems to be where XRP could go next in the medium to long term. Could happen next month or later on in the summer, but I'm expecting Ripple XRP to get up to $3 once it gets past this 50-day moving average, which is acting as resistance. Okay, once it gets past $2.40, you might have a little bit of resistance at 270, but once you get past 270, then you're going to be shooting straight for like $3 on Ripple here. Yeah, Ripple is not XRP. Okay, sure. I think you know what I'm saying, what I mean when I say it. I know there's Ripple Labs and then there's XRP, the cryptocurrency. I use them interchangeably, but I think everybody knows that when I say Ripple, we're talking about XRP. When I talk about XRP, we're also talking about Ripple. All right. Forsaken has a request here for ZBCN. And you said that you sold all your Ripple for ZBCN before ZBCN had a takeoff. Congratulations. That sounds like a good move if that's what you did. All right, let's see. Guys, if you guys like this live stream and you feel like some of your friends could possibly benefit from my analysis here, by all means, go ahead and share this live stream with your friends or family. I've been investing ever since I was 18 years old. I've been in crypto ever since 2017 when I bought my first Bitcoin at $3,000 and my first Ethereum at like $200. And I've been involved in the markets for a while here, and I've been trading, swing trading. And I also do day trading as well. So I really have to be on top of my game when it comes to trading if I'm going to actually be good enough to actually make some money every day day trading it. Yeah. All right. Let me look at the ZBCN for my buddy here. And I'm still taking requests if you guys have another requests. So we see that ZBCN currently trading at 0.0019 pennies here. We're looking at the daily time frame. Looks like ZBCN had already a nice move up ever since the last week of April here. You've been going up and to the right. You only have maybe one red day here on April 29th, and then it's been up and to the right some more. You had a couple of good days where you're up like 16%, 22% the next day, another 8% the following day. And now you're getting like a red candle for Cinco de Mayo here. And then here we are on Tuesday, and you got an indecision candle here. Traders, investors are not sure if they want to be at this price right now. But yeah, that's a pretty good steady recovery. Looks like you also had the same impulse move here back in like February. This thing got as high as 0.0021 pennies here. But looks like this thing has seen better days here. Is this a relatively new cryptocurrency? I got some, no, not really. I got some data here from like April of 2024. This thing was as high as 0.0029 pennies. Okay, interesting. Okay. Fascinating. But to be honest with you, like, I feel as though this is going to be, you're already near like the resistance, the candlewick high of February 23rd here, when you got as high as like 0.021 pennies. This thing is probably gonna go sideways for now. Also looking at the RSI. You're in overbought territory. RSI of like 75 on Saturday, 76 on Monday, and you're still at like 76 on the RSI. So don't be surprised if you go sideways for now on ZBCM, because you should have been in this trade back in the end of April here. But if you've been in this trade since the end of April, you've already made a good amount of money. And you're probably going to start coming down. Okay? If you don't go sideways, you're probably going to start coming down. All right? And if you do, let me just do a fib retracement for you. All right. You got the 0.618 saying that you could come down to 0.0016 pennies here, or another golden pocket number of 0.5. You could possibly come down to 0.00014 pennies, and then there's also 0.382 where you could come down to 0.0013 pennies. Okay, so be on the lookout. If you do come down, you might be able to form a higher low around this area here. You might be in for like a 25% correction from where you are right now. Let's see. Trade intuition, you have a request for Ray. Is that Radium? You want me to look at Radium, I believe? Yeah, Forsaken, you did pretty well on that trade. Congratulations. I would start taking some profits. But if you want to continue and see if this thing goes to higher prices, it does say the 1618. You have a price target of 0.003 pennies here. So this thing could probably go up another 50% from where it is right now. Okay. All right. We got a request from Trade Intuition. Let's look at Radium. We'll look at it on the Mexi exchange. Currently looking at Radium is trading at $2.29 right now, down 9% today. Ooh. Are you getting a sale right now on Radium? Radium, for those who don't know, I believe it is a decentralized exchange on the Solana ecosystem. I believe that decentralized exchanges are here to stay, and they're going to help make some money, and they have a use case. So I wouldn't be surprised when this market does start turning up to the upside, that the money will first go to an asset like Radium over here, because Radium is actually making money with the trading fees on the decentralized exchange. All right, so that was a little synopsis of about what Radium is. Let's see what Radium could do. What has Radium done? I'm just zooming out here. I think this is the first time someone ever actually requested Radium. I don't have any chart work here. No previous chart work. This thing got as high back in January, as high as like $8.69. I think that was like right after the Trump meme coin came out, and the Melania meme coin pumped a lot of money into these decentralized exchanges. So that doesn't surprise me that this thing got as high as like $8.49 here. obviously we're at lower prices from where that is, but like, have we actually bottomed out yet? Okay, are we working on changing the downtrend to an uptrend here? Well, first of all, I can already spot it right now. You have the last significant high on the daily time frame was $3.06 back on March 2nd here. And you have a high here of $3.13, so 313 higher than 306. You've already made a higher high on the daily time frame for Radium, so you can consider this an uptrend, the beginning of an uptrend. And I would say that this is probably, yeah, this is probably the bottom for Radium. It looks like you kind of did a double bottom right here. You had the first bottom at $1.45 on March 11th, and then here on April 7th, $1.36 was the other bottom. That's within about 1 to 3% from each other. That qualifies as a double bottom. So yeah, I think traders and investors are already spotted that because they sent the price higher after April 7th. Okay. So yeah, let's see what the RSI is looking like. So you did create your higher lows here on your RSI after creating lower lows on the price. So you already had bullish divergence come into play here. Okay, so that's why it started to go sideways and buyers were stepping in and buying it up. That's why you started going sideways and you bottom out. And yeah, I think the bottom is in on Radium. And now we just created a higher high. So now you probably want to then figure out where the higher low might be for Radium, right? So you could scoop up some more cheaper Radium. So if I measure, what do we say? We said $3. What's that? $3.15. So I'll measure from there down to the low, $1.36 here. Okay, $1.36. That's good enough. So we've already went through the 0.618 fib retracement. That's usually the golden pocket number, and you've already went below that. Currently, we're at $2.29, and that kind of corresponds to the 0.5 retracement level. So you might actually be getting that low, that higher low that you're looking right now as we speak. Let's see. Today we came down to like $2.20. Yeah, I mean, you're hoping that this holds for now, and that was just the higher low. Looking at the daily time frame, those are the same prices you could have got in at. $2.20 was like where we were trading at back on April 19th, April 20th, around Easter, I believe. So anybody that bought here is probably going to hold on, and they're still in a little bit of profit. But I would probably put a stop loss right below that level at like $2.08 or $2.10 maybe, if you want to keep it tight. But you're trying to buy in. You've already did your retracement, and you're just hoping that this thing's gonna respect the 0.5 retracement level. It could go down further. It could come down to the 0.236 retracement at $1.79. Would be an even better buy for Radium. But yeah, you're just looking for that higher low. You don't know when that higher low is going to come in or not. It could be coming in right now. Could be coming in later on this week or next week. But if that higher low gets formed and we start going to higher prices, then you might get a rejection from this 50-day moving average at $3.03. Okay? It looks like it's trending down, so it might even come in at like $3, a clean $3, even $3. But then once you get past $3, I think this thing could shoot up its to higher prices, and you might see it get up to the 1618 at $4.23, and that kind of puts you right above the 200-day moving average. So I think once this thing gets up to $4, you should start taking profit on your Radium investment here. And you should be happy because that's basically almost a double in price from where you are right now. You'll be doubling your money with Radium. All right. Trade intuition. You said it's funny. You're always in the chart when you're watching other people's TA. You move the cursor on the screen to move the chart. Would love to chat with you on Telegram. You hate Discord. I don't have it. Get Telegram and send me a message. All right. Well, you would be the first guy I would talk to on Telegram. I usually try to avoid Telegram because I feel like there's so many scammers on there. But because I actually know who you are, I've seen your channel, I know you're an actual person, I think I might be able to do that. But why Telegram? Why not Discord? And I don't even think about it. I never see you on the Discord for like Porky's channel. But you should come on the Porky's Discord. It's pretty active. A lot of people asking questions and sharing ideas. I'm trying to get my Discord to be a little bit more active. Let's take a look at my Discord. Excuse me. For those who are interested in joining the Discord, I do have a Meet Damien Discord server here, and it's good to join the Discord because you'll know when I go live. I post up when I go live, you know, and yeah, just for the most part, it's me talking to myself right now. But I do have some people talking here on Discord. There's Love Guru right there. Okay, I think Porky showed up on the Discord. But yeah, you guys might want to take a look at the Meet Damien Discord. I posted a link for YouTube. I might have to repost a new link in case it expired. But yeah, good place to come ask me questions. If you can't wait for me to go live, you can ask me on the Discord. All right, so that was Radium. Let's see. Is there any other requests here? Let's see if I got any more requests from my TikTok guys. Thanks, Jeff, for liking the live. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Smash that like button. At least smash it on the way out. Don't forget to hit it on the way out. No, I don't really see... I don't see any requests. Interesting. You guys are keeping busy with requests during the weekend. I feel like things kind of died down this week. Probably because we're having a down day. Okay, I see someone here. Jeff said, what are my thoughts on Sui? We can look at Sui. And I think that's it for now. Alright. Yeah, we'll take a look at Sui. Oh, yeah, welcome, Trade Intuition. I'm glad you enjoyed the technical analysis on Radium. Even though I know you're capable of doing it yourself, I'm pretty sure you enjoy getting a second opinion on things just to see if you agree with me or not, or maybe I might have seen something that you didn't see. But yeah, Radium, I think I think it might be a good investment. You're just looking to get it on sale right now before it goes to higher prices. Let's look at Sui. Sui currently trading at $3.14 right now. Sui is also in the process of trying to find a higher low. That higher low might actually come in. We'll see if the 21 EMA is going to give us some support at $3. You might see a $3 Sui. That would correspond to the 0.5 retracement level here at $2.97. So that would make sense. I'm pretty sure if you're a fib trader, you're trading just Fibonacci, you're looking for that 0.5 retracement. You're looking to buy Sui at about $2.97. If you're a moving average trader, you like using the moving averages, you're probably using the 21 EMA as You're probably targeting $3 as your buy order, where you're gonna put your buy order at. Same thing here with the 50 moving average. The 50 moving average, if we don't get support off the 21 EMA, maybe we get support on the 50. That's sitting at $2.81, and that kind of corresponds to this 0.382 retracement level at $2.76. So whether you're a Fibonacci guy or you're a moving average guy, or maybe you're just a guy like me who does it all, you can see that you got some confluence here. Okay, I think SUI could come down to $3, okay, before it gets a bounce back up to higher prices. And if it doesn't get the bounce at $3, then I think maybe $2.76 is where we'll get the bounce for the higher low on SUI. And then if SUI decides to go up to higher prices, we do have the 1618 saying that SUI should be a $5 cryptocurrency later on in 2025. It's already done it already in 2025 when we saw SUI as high as 535 back on January 4th, right after New Year's. So I wouldn't put it past SUI that SUI can actually get up to $5 again. I think that's a reasonable target since it's already done it before. All right, let's see. I hope you enjoyed the analysis there on SUI. I don't know if you want me to dig deeper, but I already gave you like the bearish targets. I think SUI could come down to $2.76 or $3. And then the bullish target is I think SUI could get up to like $5, but we'll see how it handles getting back to the high that it made at, on Monday. We saw this thing as high as $3.87. So we'll see. So it's just kind of chilling out, mainly because it's been overbought during like the last week of April and first week of May. So SUI needs to kind of like chill out for a little bit, go sideways before people get interested in buying it again. If it keeps going to lower prices, it will generate more interest and more excitement. And yeah, you're just looking for a higher low at some point here for SUI. All right. I need to grab some more water here, guys. I'll be back. Give me like 20 seconds. All right, I'm back. Okay, let's see. Do we have any more requests? We just talked about SUI. And let's see if any other interesting things are happening in cryptocurrency world here. Let's see who are the top gainers or top losers here. Right now, SUI and Aptos are looking like the top losers. Jesus Christ. Down 7% between the two of them. Virtual's cryptocurrency is down 14%. And AI16Z is down 6%. Let's look at we'll take a look at crypto bubbles. See what's going on here. All right, so that's for the month, but we want to see what's going on with today. So here we are with the crypto bubbles, and yeah, virtual is leading the charge down for all these cryptos, down about 14%. Radium's down 10%. We already looked at that one. Farcoin's down 9.7%. Walrus. What a crazy day here, guys. Yeah. It was looking good earlier today because the Federal Reserve bought a bunch of bonds, but I don't know. Something probably happened with earnings report. I think earnings season, there's some companies reporting earnings right now, and I think it's dragging down the markets. All right, so we have a request here for Tars AI. Is that what I saw? Yeah, all right, yeah, we'll look at Tars AI. And then Aerodrome. All right, yeah, we'll look at Tars AI and Aerodrome. Sure. And we got Chewy in here saying that XYO is always up when shit hits the fan. Okay. All right. So let's do this request here first. Tars AI and Aerodrome. Let's get back into the charts here. How's Ethereum looking? All right, yeah. Actually, I want to see how Ethereum is looking real quick for my own informational purposes here. For those who are interested, Ethereum is at 1773. I like looking at the 15-minute chart. Yeah, I feel like Ethereum is just making higher lows. It's hanging in tight, a little bit better than some of these other altcoins. All right, I just want to look at Ethereum real quick there. All right, Tars AI. USD maybe. Tars AI on Mexi. Currently trading at about 7 cents right now, down 11% today. Let's get into the daily time frame here. So Tars AI, as expected, had a big impulse move, got rejected off the 50-day moving average. That 50 will act as resistance for now. Okay, the 21 EMA is currently trying to act as support. We're hoping that it's going to act as support, but it could always lose it, right? But the 21 EMA, yeah, it's sitting at about 0.068 pennies. It should provide support for now until we lose it. But I think going forward, like Tars AI is probably going to just continue bouncing between the 21 EMA and the 50 moving average. Currently sitting at like 10 cents, almost 11 cents. So we'll probably just trade sideways between 7 cents and 10 cents on Tars AI. So, you know, right now you could just game plan, but you could buy now at 7 cents, put a tight stop loss at like maybe 6 cents, and you're hoping to just do a quick day trade or a short swing trade back up to like 10 cents here. And then you should consider selling it if you're short-term trading it. But if you're in it for the long term, then you're looking to hold on to higher prices, and you're looking to see if Tars AI can get above that 200 moving average, which is currently sitting at 18 cents right now. So if Tars AI can get back to 200 moving average, you basically almost tripled. You surely did a double at that point. And you should be consider selling if you doubled your money on any asset, right? Because you do have to sell in order to lock in your gains and your profits. That's like a little short. Yeah, do I really need to turn the VRVP? We'll turn on the VRVP, see what it has to say here. Okay, yeah, VRVP. Yeah, you got a high volume node here, like 8.5 cents. And then you got the value area high sitting at 10 cents. That's why I see it at 10-cent level. I think that's a good area to be selling if you're short-term trading it. Once you get past 10 cents, you got a little bit of resistance at like 12.5 cents. And then the volume on the VRVP drops, and then you don't really have high volume nodes until like 19 cents. This is where you should be selling your Tars AI if you're in it for the long term. Okay, moving on to, what was the other one? We said Tars AI, and then, God, I should have wrote that down. I didn't. Aerodrome. Okay, yeah, Aerodrome. And then someone wrote something else here. Yeah, I'm not really gonna do that meme coin. I'm not a big fan of talking about meme coins unless I can actually look them up on TradingView here. All right, Aerodrome. Let's see if Aerodrome is getting beaten down, because if it is, I might actually buy some when I'm done with this live stream here. Aerodrome is another decentralized exchange that works off of the base protocol network, and it's affiliated with Coinbase. So could be a lot of good things coming for Aerodrome once the markets start churning up higher here. But yeah, I got the VRVP. I got all the indicators here. Where do I want to start? Let me just get rid of this one for now. We'll start by looking at the VRVP. Okay, VRVP says that the POC, the point of control is at 51 cents. That should be a good area to buy Aerodrome. You might get a reaction off that level where you might get a bounce and use that as support, or at least that's what you're hoping for. Because you don't want to lose the POC. Because if you lose the POC, then you might come down to the value area low at like 45 cents. Okay, just some price targets to keep in mind here. I don't know if you're long in or shorting Aerodrome Finance here, but yeah, that value area low at like 45, 47 cents could be your downside target. Now, looking for the upside here, if Aerodrome can get above the 50-day moving average at 61 cents, you got a steep drop in the volume here on the VRVP. You got a big gap here, and then you might see some resistance at 82 cents. And then you might then start bumping your head up against the 100-day moving average at 90 cents, and then 200 moving average at $1.02. And I think that should be your medium-term take profit target on Aerodrome. But if Aerodrome continues being more bullish after that, then you got the value area high sitting at $1.18. And that should be another take profit target level. And then, of course, you know, if you're really trying to push for higher prices here, yeah, it looks like $1.50. $1.50 could be a good take profit target, and then you basically be almost tripling your money with Aerodrome here. But we have seen Aerodrome get as high as like almost $2, about $2.33 here. So this thing could possibly be a 4x. If it could just do and get back to like where it was in December of 2024. But right now, yeah, just realistically speaking, you're hoping to get past that. What do we say? We want to get past like 63 cents here, and then you got a big gap, and then you're probably gonna see 80 cents real quick, real fast for Aerodrome. That's about almost like a 33% move up from where you are right now. All right, I guess we'll take a look at XYO since Chewy mentioned it. And then let's see, Jeff is asking me, am I familiar with TokenBot? Actually, I'm not. Can you tell me more about it in the comments? And somebody here says, stop trading and believe. I am a believer. I do trading, I do day trading, I do swing trading, and I actually have long-term investments. So my long-term investments is where my high conviction, high belief plays are at, and the day trading is just another way for me to make money on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at XYO. XYO. Okay. Take a look at it on Coinbase, maybe. And XYO is currently trading at 0.0135 pennies, up 9% today. And you made a comment that XYO seems to always go up when things are going down, when everything else is going down. That's crazy. Is there a reason why it's like that, Chewy? Do you know? As I start to zoom in and familiarize myself with the chart, I'm gonna get rid of the VRVP here real quick. Looks like XYO is getting bounced between the 21 EMA and the 200. 200 is acting as resistance right now at 0.0138 pennies. And the 21 EMA is at 0.012 pennies. So moving averages is getting tight, which leads me to believe that there's going to be probably an explosive move for XYO because the moving averages are getting closer and tighter to each other. So be on the lookout for that. And is it going to be an explosive move to the upside or to the downside? Well, right now, stochastic RSI is pretty low for the most part. And RSI is trending up higher. So I'm expecting this thing to make an explosive move to the upside. And if it does, I mean, where is it going to go? I mean, we've seen it make an explosive move back on Friday, April 25th. This thing got as high as 2 cents. Is that where it's going to go next? That's where it has to go if it wants to go create a higher high. Wow, okay. Yeah. I think I'm just going to do a Fibonacci analysis on this and see what it has to say as far as like how high this thing could possibly go. But yeah, right now, I'm just analyzing this. I think it needs to maintain that 21 EMA at 0.012 pennies. This could be the beginning of another higher low as we start going up and to the right exponentially on this crypto. But yeah, let me go ahead and just draw out this Fibonacci, see what it says. If we're going to count this high here of 2 cents, right? And we'll take it to like the bottom at like 0.007 pennies, I believe. It says the 1618 says that we should see almost a 3 cent XYO at some point. 0.028 pennies to be exact, according to this fib analysis here. So keep that in mind as I now turn on the VRVP to see what the VRVP has to say. Okay, VRVP is saying that the value area high is at about 2.5 cents. That's probably where a good amount of XYO investors are going to sell their XYO. But you also got high volume nodes here at like, there it is, 0.028 pennies. So you got a high volume node at 0.028 pennies. So 0.028, because I got the fib extension saying 0.028, and I also got the VRVP saying 0.028, I think that should be a take profit target. And you basically, that's like a double in price, right? Let me just measure that out. I'll quickly figure, you know, how high that really is and how much you'll make. Yeah, you'll basically double. You'll be up like 117% if you can get up to that 0.028 level. And you should be happy. You'll be doubling your money. Agur is saying we should look at Casper Network. Okay, I can do that. Yeah. And then I got a question here. Do you dollar cost average the SPX? Yeah, I would be trying to get into the SPX, the S&P 500, because it's below its 200-day moving average. Should be a good area to buy. Okay, so dollar cost averaging into the S&P 500 seems to be a good move in my opinion, because it usually does continue going up and to the right for the most part. Let's look at Casper now. And guys, I'm kind of getting a little bit tired looking at these coins here. I've been live for about an hour and a half. I think this is going to be the last coin I'm going to look at here. Is that the Casper that we're talking about? Or is it Caspa with a K-A-S-P-A? You did say Casper Network. So let's see. I think this is the one you're talking about. Casper USDT on Mexi. We're looking at Casper Network now, I believe. Trading at 0.014 pennies, down 3.9% for today. And I got all the indicators showing here. VRVP is showing that the POC is at 0.0116 pennies. So if this thing does decide to come down, I'm expecting 0.011 to be a good area for support. This also happens to be where the 21 EMA is at, so that should give us some support if we do come down. Hopefully you don't come down, because it would be a shame if you did lose that 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is sitting at 0.013 pennies. So hopefully you guys the longs are able to defend that level, because that would just suck if you lose it, right? After you just reclaimed it. Looking at the VRVP, if this thing does start moving up to higher prices, you got the value area high at 0.0169 pennies. Might be a good opportunity to sell if you're day trading it. But I think this thing could go higher than that. Yeah, you probably are going to be waiting to go higher. And if it does, where could we go? Jeez, that's a crazy candle here. What the hell is this all about? This green candle up. Jeez, this thing got as high as like 0.026 pennies. That's basically a double. Yeah, something's up with that. I don't know what that's all about. But I'm gonna just disregard that big giant candle there, and I'm just gonna do a Fibonacci analysis here. And I didn't really see any high volume on the VRVP, so I can't really use that to give you a target price. But I will do it with a Fibonacci. And we're just gonna disregard this crazy ass candle work here. We're just gonna measure from the top here on Tuesday when we got as high as 0.0169 pennies. And I'll take this down to we'll take it down to this level here. Okay. And I'm not really concerned about these fib levels here unless I'm looking for a higher low. What I'm really looking to do here is I'm looking to see where the 1618 is at. So the 1618 is saying that this thing could possibly get up to like 0.022 pennies. And I believe that's like a 50% gain from where you are right now. Yeah, let me just measure that out. From here to here, you'll be up about 62% on your investment if you get up to that 1618 level. And if you push it even higher, you could get to the 2618 level at basically 3 pennies. And I believe that's going to be a double. Yeah, you'll be up about 127%. So those are some take profit targets. If you basically, I feel like for a lot of these cryptocurrencies, guys, don't get too greedy this year. Start taking profit after your cryptocurrency investments double. Sell something so you don't have to round trip it and go back to where you bought it again and be mad at yourself. You should try to sell. I feel like a lot of these altcoins are going to double at some point later on this year, and when it does, you should start selling. You don't have to sell everything, but you should sell something just to say you sold and made money. Lock in those gains, get some profits. But guys, that's going to be it for me. I want to take a look at some of my trades here. And I got some other things I need to do. And yeah, that's going to be it for me on this live stream. I appreciate you guys coming out to the Meet Damien channel. I'll just end it on Bitcoin one more time here. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin is at $95,500. Okay. Something just happened here, right? Okay. Because it wasn't like that when I first started the stream. I believe Bitcoin was at like $94,000. We just got above the 200 moving average on Bitcoin's 50-minute time frame here. And we're getting a nice solid green candle right now, up almost like almost 1% in the last 15 minutes here. So wow, okay, Bitcoin, you keep doing your thing, Bitcoin. And Ethereum is almost back to like 1,800 bucks. All right, do you, boo? Yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I want to get back to trading again here, and good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into, guys. Take care.